Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Dusty Spot. I am Emmanuel Reyes Corona.
And I'm Rosalinda Puentes.
And in this episode, we're going to talk about horror movies recommendations. As you know, Halloween is around the corner, so we want you to give 5 horror movies recommendations for you to watch over the weekend, be preparing for the spooky season, be preparing for Halloween, and then to get all the excitement, the mood, and the vibes for you to go and participate on the Halloween Fest event, which is happening on November 1st.
Yes, originally it was October 30th, but I believe because of weather changes, it is now November 1st.
Mark your calendars, November 1st, Halloween Fest, and prior to that, we're gonna give you these 5 horror movie recommendations. So Rosa, you wanna start with the first one?
Yeah, definitely. So this first recommendation is kind of like a little throwback. I watched it when I was a little kid. I was about 6-7 years old. And the movie is called Dead Silence. So basically, this movie is about Jamie who returns to his hometown in search of answers to his wife's murder, which occurred after receiving a weird package containing a ventriloquist dummy named Billy, which was linked to the legend of ventriloquist Mary Shaw. Destined to find out the truth, Jamie goes to the town of Ravens Fair, where Shaw used to perform and is buried. But Jamie is in for more than he expected. So this movie, I remember when I watched it, it literally gave me nightmares. I had no business watching this movie as a kid.
Yeah, like...
But there I was, the terca. So I remember having nightmares about this kid because there's
the ventriloquist is really, like, the design of the ventriloquist...
Yeah, it's creepy. It's absolutely creepy. And little spoiler, so there's this poem that was in the back of the, like, DVD box that I remember literally, like, by heart. And it went something along the lines of like, Mary Shaw, like, if you see her in your dreams, make sure you never ever scream, because if you do, she'll rip your tongue out.
Oh.
And that terrified me. Like, I literally remember having a dream about her and screaming and waking up like terrified that like my tongue was out of my mouth.
No, yeah, and like as a little kid, how wouldn't you get scared?
Yeah, no, literally like terrifying. And like I haven't seen it in a few years, but honestly, after talking about it, I might rewatch it. Hopefully I don't get nightmares again. Like, I think I'm past that.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. And
I'll let you know.
Like, the movie is directed by James Wan. He's directed the Conjuring saga and everything. Mm-hmm. He's done the Saw franchise as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You picked a good movie.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, moving on with my first recommendation, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Barbarian. It's a newer movie. It came out last year. And the plot is about where in a town for a job interview, a young woman arrived at her Airbnb late at night, only to find out that it has been mistakenly double booked and a strange man is already staying there. Against her better judgment, she decides to stay the night anyway, but soon discovers that there is much more to be afraid of in the house than the other house guest. So this is one of the biggest surprises of horror movies in recent years, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I took my sister on the movie theater and everything, and I was just surprised of how well done this movie is. I'm a really scary person. I get scared so easily, like with the stupidest jump scares.
Boo.
I will be screaming like right now. But this movie has very smart choices and it doesn't abuse the jump scare. So it's a very smart plot. And 30 minutes in, you are thinking it's going somewhere and it just changes the direction completely. So every 10-15 minutes, when you are thinking that you're already getting the plot and you know where it's headed, it always changing. So I also love that it has that unexpected element every 10-15 minutes of the movie. So this is also a great movie for you to watch. Oh, by the way, this movie, Barbarian, you can watch it on Hulu and HBO Max. And the first one, Dead Silence, you can watch it on Peacock. We're also going to tell you the streaming services where you can watch it. So yeah, Dead Silence is streaming in Peacock and Barbarian is streaming in either Hulu or HBO Max. So for the third recommendation, what you got for us, Rosa?
So I got another fairly new one. It's called The Pope's Exorcist. The Pope's Exorcist, you could watch this movie on Netflix. So basically what it's about Father Gabriel Amorth. I'm sorry, I might be butchering that. He is a chief exorcist for the Vatican, and he investigates a young boy's terrifying possession and ends up uncovering a centuries-old conspiracy of the Vatican that the Vatican has desperately tried to keep hidden. So when I first watched this movie, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I went in knowing nothing about the movie. I just kind of saw it. My roommate was like, hey, we should watch it. And I was like, say less. I'm down to watch a scary movie. I fell in love. Honestly, fell in love with the movie. It was so good, and it had me thinking about so many things. Like, honestly, the Vatican is a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Like, that might be a little controversial to say, but I think it's a little sketchy. Again, I'm one of those people, call me conspiracy theorist or whatever, but I do believe that movies kind of tell you the truth of what's happening in real life. So this kind of had me questioning.
Like, so then it has like a little bit of criticism, perhaps, or like social input into.
Yeah.
The Vatican is not as.
Yeah,
we
and
think
I don't easily scare. I really don't. But this movie had me jumping in certain parts of it.
So I'll be screaming and crying all the time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You might have nightmares after
Yeah.
this.
Oh, okay. Then I might watch it.
Yeah, no, it's super good. I really do recommend it. Like I said, it came out recently, 2023, and it is directed by Julius Avery as well.
And it's starred by Russell Crowe, which is like one of the best actors of his generations.
Yeah.
So, and I'm surprised for the mere fact that Russell Crowe is in it, because he's been like very picky on his roles.
Yeah.
So now seeing him like on a horror movie that I think
Yeah.
he has never participated before, that's
It's
great.
a little funny too. Like, it not only is it scary, there's like little moments of humor throughout it. At least for me, I personally think scary movies are sometimes some of the funniest movies. I might call me psychotic. It might be the Scorpio in me, but but I really do think there's certain movies like Evil Dead, for example, I think is absolutely hilarious. Some people
yeah,
find
definitely.
it terrifying. I think it's hilarious. So it's definitely worth the watch. Like I said again, it is on Netflix, so feel free to watch it if you'd like. And for the next movie, we're heading back to Manuel. Can you tell us a little bit about this movie?
So the next movie that I recommend, it's called Fresh. It's also a new release. It's 2022 and it's available from Hulu. It's a Hulu original. And I must say, before going into the movie, that Hulu has really good hidden gems.
It does. It really does.
And this is a perfect example of this. Fresh, it goes about this lady that she is frustrated by scrolling dating apps only to end up with like lame, tedious dates. So Noah, that's the name of the lady, takes a chance by giving her number to an awkwardly charming Steve after a produce section meet cute at the grocery store. So this is like the classic fairy tale. You like stumble across this cute guy on the mall or something like that, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna give the
him my
number and everything. But then everything goes sideways because she start like knowing the guy on the date is not as she was expecting it, maybe, or may not. He has like a dark past or something. So it's really, really, really unexpected. It's well written and the performances are great. The guy is Sebastian Stan, so he's like Bucky from the Captain America movies.
Okay, yeah.
So he's hot. He's hot. And the lady is...
You heard it here first, guys. Emmanuel said he is hot. Go
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, you don't need nothing more. And Daisy Edgar Jones, she's so badass at the main role of Noah. So yeah, and it only lasts like 90 minutes, but those 90 minutes keeps you on edge. Every minute is like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, what is happening? It has some of the greatest horror movie finales, in my opinion, that I have ever watched. So I highly, highly recommend you watching this movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check this out. Like, I don't use my Hulu account a lot, but like you said, like there is a lot of hidden gems on that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna have to check this movie out this weekend.
Yeah, so watch everyone. Fresh, like I said, it's on Hulu. And for the last movie recommendation, this is a movie that both Rosa and I have watched and we thoroughly enjoy it.
I absolutely loved this movie. I really did. And I say that a lot. I love a lot of things. But this movie, honestly, I could not stop talking about it after I left the theater.
No, yeah, it was a blast. I have to watch it twice because of so good it is. I've watched it twice.
I want to
in the movie
rewatch
theater.
it.
Yeah, it's so great. So the movie we're talking about, it's called Talk to Me. It's from this year. It's just a blast. Do you want to tell the audience what's the movie about, Rosa?
Yeah, definitely. So Talk to Me is about a group of friends that discover how to conjure spirits using an embalmed hand. They become hooked on this new thrill until one of them goes too far and unleashes a terrifying supernatural force. And when I tell you guys, this movie had me on the edge of my seat, I am not lying. Like I said, I do not scare easily in movies. I find a lot of things hilarious that shouldn't be hilarious. But this movie had me jumping.
Yes.
Like, I recently talked to my best friend because my best friend just recently watched this movie and she was terrified. And she gets scared easily. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, my bestie gets scared super easy. And when she told me she watched this, I was like, girl, what's wrong with you? You scare so easy. Like, I remember watching scary movies with her. Halfway through, we would have to pause it and watch cartoons.
Oh, no.
Because
that
she would,
bad, huh?
yeah, like she would get terrified. And she literally told me that even her brother, who was like 17 years old, they had to walk him from her room to his room across the house because he was scared to walk alone in the dark.
No, yeah, this movie is definitely a very smart, intelligent, very progressive, and over the edge movie. Like,
Yeah.
the plot may sound very cliche, but you are not.
You're not going to be
prepared.
disappointed. Yeah, you're not going to be disappointed in this.
Exactly. No, this is a very fresh turn into the classic movie of like, oh, we're conjuring spirits, because it's nothing you have ever seen, like at least in the past 5 years,
Yeah.
I dare to say. And like I said, I'm also easily scared, but I enjoyed being scared. Like,
Yeah.
I'm that type of person. Like, yeah, I'm easily scared, but I love being scared, and mostly when it's in a good way. Like I
Yeah.
said, this movie doesn't have jump scares at all. It's just a smart build up. It's
Yeah.
building the momentum. Like, it has these spooky vibes, the movie around it, and everything is like, oh my god.
Literally, it was amazing. And fun fact, when I watched this movie, I watched it at the Alamo Draft House.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to the Alamo Draft House, instead of playing like trailers before the movie starts, they play things that are relating to the movie that you're gonna watch. So like, for example, I watched the Mario movie at the Alamo Draft House. Instead of playing trailers, they played like a bunch of like old videos about Mario, like games, commercials, anything including Mario and Mario's Bros. They played it
Okay.
before the movie started. So for this movie, what they did is that they gave background about the movie.
Oh,
so it
okay.
turns out that the people that came up with the idea, that directed it, were YouTubers.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. They were
Yeah.
YouTubers, and they like stopped doing YouTube for like a year because they were filming this movie with like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're kidding me. And then they got into like a film festival, and they got picked up by, I believe it was like what, A24?
A24, yeah.
And I was like literally baffled. Like, I watching that, and like if I wouldn't have known that, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also it's good to close here with that note that you mentioned. Like, there were YouTubers, and now they released one of the biggest hits on horror cinema in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And like, it's showing like there's no limits to what you can do if you have the passion, the idea, and the correct people around you. Like, YouTubers having just a bunch of friends that they're all into filmmaking industry, they made a movie, and like they got the risk. Like, they
Yeah.
made a gamble on it, and like they won. Like, A24 is one of the most successful movie studios at the moment. And by the way, this movie already got green lighted a sequel, so we're going to watch Talk to Me, like
Two. I
Me.
cannot wait for
So
it.
yeah, so Dust Devils, watch Talk to Me like right now. Right now it's available to rent on all platforms like Prime Video, like YouTube. Rented, I think it's $4 or $5. It also got the DVD and the Blu-ray, so it's easily available right now to rent for a few bucks.
Unfortunately, it's not free yet, but I do say that it's definitely worth renting.
Yeah, and with this, Dust Devil, we close our 5 horror movie recommendations. Like we said, the movies are Dead Silence, Pope's Exorcist, Barbarian, Fresh, and Talk to Me. So go watch it. Take advantage of this weekend, that is Halloween weekend and everything. Be prepared. And then don't forget to come up to Halloween Fest on November 1 here at Tamiyu. There's going to be a bunch of booths, different activities, plays, games, food.
It's open to the public, so make sure you bring your friends, your family. If you have kids, bring your kids.
It's going to be from 6 to 9:30, if I'm not mistaken, November 1st. And obviously the bridge, it's going to have its own booth. You can check all other booths, but then come to the bridge, say hi to us, and
Would love to see you guys there.
we are very excited about Halloween Fest. And please watch the movies because they are great movies. But yeah, thank you, Dust Devils. It was nice talking to you again, and see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.